stoked as we are ready to go into team preview. There it is. This is actually his Utah team.
Right.
Matthew on screen with Tyranitar, Excadrill, Gyarados, Cresselia, Amoonguss, and Aegislash. Phil going to be running Breloom, Aegislash, Kangaskhan, Milotic, Volcarona, and Garchomp. Garchomp is a Pokemon that we don't see too often anymore.
No, with Hyper Voice surging, really hard to keep Garchomp on the field. Substitute and Sand Veil used to be one of its biggest tools. Sand lasts 5 turns, Hyper Voice goes through sub, that tool's gone. Other kinds of Garchomps were popular in 2014 because of Rough Skin, things like Choice Band, but so much Hyper Voice makes it really hard to use Garchomp.
Right. And looking at Matthew's team, knowing his playstyle, I can already tell that that's going to be the Mega Tyranitar, and that is going to be a normal Gyarados. And Gyarados provides him a lot of support that, you wouldn't expect from it. It gets Thunder Wave, Intimidate. It's a pretty cool Pokemon. It can be pretty bulky.
It's a Hornet special. It's also what Trista's been using.
It's a what?
It's very good for the Hornets.
Yeah?
That Gyarados, yeah.
All right. All right, then. Phil's team, of course, you do have that Milotic to kind of scare away that Gyarados a little bit, but, Gyarados is going to be so huge because you see Kangaskhan, you see Breloom, you see Garchomp. All those are really heavy-hitting physical attackers that Gyarados is going to want to easily come in on and Intimidate. So
has to be careful of Milotic, though.
Right. Wait, who has to be careful with Milotic?
The Gyarados.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But, with 3 physical attackers on Phil's side, I wouldn't be surprised to see him.
No, I expect him to bring it, but you still have to be careful.
Milotic, yeah.
And unlike Landorus, who when you intimidate Milotic, immediately Milotic is threatening to KO Landorus, Gyarados doesn't care that much, even about +2 Milotic. But it is a threat to the rest of your team. Things like Tyranitar and Excadrill don't want to be up against +2 Milotic.
A lot of special bulk, as the time remaining is currently at 0-0, and we actually don't have anything happening.
Our producer's going to go over there and figure this out.
Yeah, that's definitely cool.
Oh, here we go.
Oh.
IR connection was blocked by something. Probably the USB cable.
Oh, okay.
We're all good now.
Gotcha. All right. Good job, producer /Molder, on figuring out how the IR works here. Good job, man. We see Tyranitar and Cresselia now get sent out for Matthew's side. As we see Aegislash and Volcarona out on Phil's side. So, those are Pokemon that Cresselia does not mind facing off against, but those are Pokemon that Tyranitar also does not mind facing off against either.
I mean, Cresselia doesn't want to be in any of these.
No way, not at all.
Taking Shadow Balls, taking Bug Buzzes. But T-Tar doesn't mind it, isn't especially threatened. They both do have actually super effective, same type boosted attacks on Tyranitar, but because of its big special defense, and them not running those attacks as frequently as they used to, T-Tar doesn't mind this at all.
Gyarados going to come in right now, probably trying to take that Bug Buzz that you probably love so much as it gets off and Intimidate onto the Aegislash and the Volcarona. And Tyranitar is not going to hesitate, just going to go straight for the Mega Evolution here. Get a lot more bulk, get a lot more offensive power, and a little bit of speed. As Volcarona going to go ahead and protect itself here, not going to want to take any possible Rock Slide. Where's Tyranitar going to go with the attack? This is dangerous right here. As Tyranitar goes for a Rock Slide, going to hit that Aegislash for a little bit of damage. Still in shield form, not going to do too much. As Aegislash now going to go on the offense, goes into Blade form after the stance change. Aegislash going to target down with a Flash Cannon into that Tyranitar slot.
This will do good damage.
Doing 50%. All right. All right. It's good damage.
But Matthew got Gyarados in a much better position than Cresselia was. Can threaten either one or put out status and other useful things. And the question now is, can Volcarona just KO the T-Tar before it moves?
That's true. Aegislash does hit a bit harder. Volcarona is going to go ahead and switch out here. Not going to want to take anything. Sends in Garchomp. Probably going to try to take a Waterfall and a Rock Slide here. Tyranitar goes Crunch straight into that Aegislash slot.
No King Shield. Crunch into the King Shield would have been -2 attack. No King Shield, instead it's a KO to Aegislash.
And that is going to put Phil behind already. Losing Aegislash so soon after you see it do so much damage. Gyarados now going to connect with the Waterfall onto that Garchomp. Gonna connect, gonna do a little bit of damage, maybe about 40%. Garchomp's Rough Skin activates and deals some damage back to Gyarados as it's slowly gonna get chipped away. Oh, Rocky Helmet too.
Also.
So a little bit of a flashback to a 2014 Garchomp here with that Rocky Helmet Rough Skin combo.
Looking at that, Gyarados hasn't even attacked yet. It's 60% health because of 2 turns of Sand and Rocky Helmet and Rough Skin.
I like the switch in. I actually like the switch into Kangaskhan a lot. Going to provide a little bit of fake out support right now if it has fake out. A lot of Kangaskhan's nowadays, they actually opt for protect over fake out. So a little bit of fake out support could definitely help Phil and put him in right
Or
position.
power up punch on Tyranitar, get the KO and 2 attack boosts. Garchomp's also threatening an EQ KO on Tyranitar. Tyranitar went from a great spot to scaring away one Pokemon, KOing the other, and now it's in a pretty terrible spot. Gyarados doesn't mind this too much. Would like to reset the Intimidate on these 2 Pokemon, though.
Gyarados now does, Tyranitar does switch now. Cresselia comes in, probably trying to take a power punch as, like you said, possibly, or maybe even the Earthquake. Kangaskhan now going to go ahead and Mega Evolve now. No point in not Mega Evolving as Garchomp goes for the Dragon Claw straight into that Cresselia slot. Does a fair amount of damage with a critical hit as Kangaskhan now Double Edge. Going to connect, targeting down that Gyarados. That should be the knockout right there. Doesn't activate the Citrus Berry that I know Picklesword loves so much on that Gyarados.
Yeah, it skips right past it, and these 2 physical attackers put out big physical damage and KO the Intimidator on the same turn, so that damage is going to keep coming. T-Tar's not safe really to bring in here, so we'll see what Picklesword can bring in.
Excadrill, okay, all right. Excadrill does get that speed boost from the Sand Paddle, or the Sand
Rush. Paddles are N64 controllers, apparently.
Oh, yeah, apparently. You know, Garchomp usually does have a decently favorable matchup. I mean, I guess actually Excadrill can go for the Earthquake, right? Yeah, it can.
Yeah,
go for
but
the
I don't think if it doesn't KO Garchomp and Kangaskhan double edges Cresselia and then Earthquake hits Excadrill, that's a lot of damage on both sides, but probably damage that that Phil can live with.
Excadrill goes Iron Head onto the Garchomp slot. Does it pick up the knockout? It does. Rough Skin activates, and so is the Rocky Helmet going to activate. Does about 25% right there to the Excadrill back, so a little bit of damage back to the Excadrill. That's not bad. With the Life Orb recoil.
Yeah, I'm really surprised you went for Iron Head there. It's, you know, after the drop, Earthquake comes out to about 75 base power. Iron Head is 80, so you get a little more power, but you don't hurt the Kangaskhan, and you get Rocky Helmet, and you get Rough Skin. Tons of extra damage you took, and missing damage on Kangaskhan. That might be the KO after the Sand at the end of the turn. Seems like Earthquake would have been better than what you were predicting a switch.
We do see Icy Wind come out from Cresselia and hit that Kangaskhan. Right now, Kangaskhan's probably going to have to rely on Sucker Punch. Is Sucker Punch going to be enough to pick up a knockout on Excadrill, though?
Better be.
It has to be. You know, he did save his Tyranitar for later on, just in case the Sand does expire and he needs it back up for the Excadrill to continue operating under it. But the Icy Wind should be doing a decent amount.
If Kangaskhan has Protect, it could also protect Overheat. Volcarona won't be KO'd by an Earthquake. Some Fire move may not be Overheat, but KO Excadrill that way. There's options here.
Yeah, Excadrill could also just go for a Rock Slide, too. That's also dangerous. As Excadrill goes to Earthquake here, going to connect with both Cresselia, or not with Cresselia, but Kangaskhan and Volcarona. Is it going to be able to survive? Volcarona needs to hang on here. Volcarona does hang on, and does it go for the Heat Wave here? Volcarona going to go for a move. Heat Wave connects both Pokemon. That's a knockout on Cresselia. Knockout on Excadrill right there, and now it's going to be T-Tar. And
what did I ask like 5 turns ago? Having no idea this is what was coming.
Is Bug Buzz going to
KO from his health?
Yeah. Let's see if your Buzz has any...
And Sand, if Sand had one more turn, this game would be easily in Phil's hands. Because he can just let T-Tar come in, protect, Sand ends, KO. Instead, Sand expired just in time for Tyranitar to reset it. And now you got to go for it.
Is it going to be enough? Does he have Bug Buzz? That's actually a better question. A lot of Volcaronas have...
No, Giga Drain. That's not going to KO.
Uh-oh.
Unless there's a Rock Slide miss, Rock Slide will.
Not enough there. He might as well just crunch at this point, though, shouldn't he?
No.
Tyranitar does go for the Rock Slide. Tyranitar connects with the Rock Slide, and that is going to be enough to pick up the knockout on the Volcarona.
And that Bug Buzz definitely would have KO'd. We saw how much Giga Drain did. There's no question Bug Buzz would have KO'd.
Yeah, definitely. And, you know, Bug Buzz right there would have definitely paid off. Unfortunate right there for Phil.
Yeah.
Unfortunate.
I'm glad a Hornet didn't lose to Buzzing.
Oh, my gosh. Such a close game. You know, definitely comes down to the question that we have so many times about Volcarona. What moves should it carry? Tailwind, Rage Powder, Protect, Heat Wave, Flamethrower, Overheat,
Struggle Bug,
Drain, Struggle Bug. So many moves that you want on Volcarona. You know, it's one of those Pokemon that definitely suffers from 4-move syndrome. So, unfortunate right there that the Giga Drain's there probably just to hit bulky water types or something like that.
Yeah, it's a good way to get through something like a Jellicent or a Milotic.
Absolutely. Guys, this all comes down to, you know, what you prepare for your team coming into a battle. You know, it's not just like how you play in the battle, but also how you prepare for a tournament. You know, is your team weak to certain things? What move should I put on it to try to mitigate that?
Right. I mean, he has Garchomp for T-Tar, and he has not that it's a great answer, but Aegis/Flash Cannon, so he was able to get one off, and so maybe he thought he didn't need the Bug Buzz for that one specifically or for other things.
And you were right, actually. You know, you were right. You mentioned the fact that, you know, if he didn't switch out that T-Tar one turn earlier, that would have been a knockout because Giga Drain would have just easily picked the knockout without the special defense boost for Rock type. So good call right there, Len. That's why you're up here with me, right?
Yeah. And not noticing that while I'm playing would be why I'm not there.
Anyways, guys, we're going to take a quick break, and when we return, a player interview with Matthew Greaves' Picklesword. Stay tuned, everybody.
We're back with Matthew here. You just won. Congrats.
Yeah, thank you.
Did you think he had Bug Buzz? Were you worried?
I knew he didn't have Bug Buzz because
Okay.
we actually talked just before this match, and we were like, oh, we're probably going to play sometime soon. And so he's like, yeah, I have Giga Drain. And I'm like, I have a really bad matchup against you. That's what he was telling me. I was like, I don't think so. You got some really good stuff. So I was pretty worried going into that game, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a good player.
I was honestly glad that a Hornet wasn't done in by a Bug Buzz there at the end.
Yeah, exactly.
So a turn I thought was really interesting. You iron-headed the Garchomp.
Oh, yes. I was really worried about an Earthquake coming out because I didn't really have any good swap-ins. And so I felt like Garchomp needed to go away quickly for me.
And so it's really important, even with all the cost of it, to make sure and get the KO right then.
Yeah, because I felt like there might have been a lot of late-game pressure with the Garchomp and the Volcarona together. And so I felt like I had to get rid of that as soon as possible.
How worried were you when Gyarados went down?
Sorry?
When Gyarados went down, because you had these two big physical attackers, and your Intimidate goes down, and that seemed like the moment where things were looking to be in his favor.
I didn't want to risk him having a power-up bunch on his Kangaskhan, because then I would lose too much momentum trying to slow it down with Icy Wind. My only retaliation for that would have been basically my Garchomp. my Tyranitar. And the Garchomp was in the way for me to safely try taking out the Kangaskhan, so I felt like I had to stay in with the Gyarados. I tried using a Thunder Wave on the Kangaskhan, try to give me a little bit more speed control. And so I felt like the speed was really important in that match. So I went for the Icy Wind, I believe, with Cresselia, and then the Thunder Wave on Gyarados. So I knew one of them would at least hit for speed.
Yeah, okay. That makes sense.
Yeah.
So any other moment in the game you thought was
Yeah, there was one turn I was kind of worried about. He had Volcarona and his Aegislash out in his Blade form.
Oh, right, and you got the Crunch KO.
Yeah, I was really worried about the King Shield, but I felt like I needed to put a lot of pressure on that side still because I knew that he had good swapping options. I knew that Volcarona had a pretty difficult matchup against that Gyarados and the Tyranitar that he had to get out of there. And I felt like I needed at least to make sure the Aegislash was at least not going to go for some extra damage on my Gyarados, knowing that he had a Kangaskhan at least and probably the Garchomp in back.
Okay. Makes sense.
Yeah.
So this has been pretty similar to your other games? Is this how your team normally plays?
The team is a lot slower, I feel like. I felt there was a lot of momentum that game. There's a lot of tempo that we didn't want to lose. And so generally I'm a lot bulkier, swapping a lot more, making a lot less riskier plays, playing a lot slower, but I felt like I needed to play fast this game, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, he immediately had so much damage on the field, and so did you, threatening Rockslide. It just kind of kicked off and never really slowed down.
Yeah.
Cool. Anything you found interesting about his team? Anything surprised you during the game? You said you talked before.
Yeah, we talked before. He was saying like we'll play eventually, and I thought his Milotic would have been a huge problem for me because it has the competitive, and my bulky water counter is generally the Gyarados, which handles really well with other bulky water teams such as like rain teams, because it can just thunder wave things like a Politoed or a Ludicolo, which makes the rain not so threatening against my sand team.
Right.
So I feel like I was really worried about the Milotic, and he kept on telling me he wasn't going to bring Volcarona because of the bad matchup, but I still thought he was going to bring it regardless. So it was a risky call trying to play around the Volcarona.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So, 1 round left.
1 round left, yeah.
Winning your end.
Uh-huh.
You nervous?
I'm a little nervous. I was a little upset of my game loss. I felt like I got really upset after a certain turn played out, and I wasn't playing clearly. But I feel like I'm pretty calm now, and I just need to focus and play well, and I think I'll do well.
Cool. Well, good luck.
Thank you, sir.